Hey, Thad here. So did Xbox actually miss the train? And also, how is gonna influence the next generation console war? Well, let's discover it in this video. To understand the reasoning behind the Xbox moves and why we don't have VR yet, we have to go back to the beginning of the story, when the first consumer-ready virtual reality headset was announced. In May 2016, Oculus launched the CV1, the well-known Oculus Rift, and Microsoft was a big partner back then, bundling the Xbox controller with every single Oculus Rift sold. Yeah, we didn't have the touch controllers yet back then. Part of this move was because on the side, VR was projected to blow, finally becoming a worldwide phenomenon. And rumors were running about the Project Morpheus, the virtual reality headset from the biggest Xbox competitor, PlayStation, now known as PlayStation VR. This brought Xbox to even announce in a very early Project Scorpio teaser the VR support for the next upcoming console, the mid-generation Xbox One X, with a GPU powerful enough to support even Fallout VR, but we all know that something then changed. At this point, everyone was expecting the Oculus Rift to be supported by the new Xbox, but that never happened. Instead, Microsoft wanted to get in the market directly and redirected part of the HoloLens team to create a Windows Mixed Reality, the first inside-out tracking virtual reality system. It was a big deal back then because the idea was to bring down the prices of VR that were very high at the time, and at the same time the obstacle of having to set up sensors like the competition, like the camera for PlayStation VR or the lighthouses for the Vive or the other sensor for the Oculus Rift, for example. Let's remember that Xbox ran on the same kernel of Windows, and all the Windows Mixed Reality needed was just an HDMI and a USB port, already present on the X. But in November, the Xbox One X came out without any VR support. The price point of the console was already pretty expensive at $499, $100 more than the competition with PS4 Pro, and Microsoft didn't feel like asking the consumer to spend another $400 on top for a VR headset. And that's pretty fair if you ask me. Let's wait another year. In the period, Oculus also worked on the Oculus Touch to have hand interaction in VR and dropped the Xbox controller from the box. The partnership ended and became sure that Oculus and Xbox wasn't going to happen anytime soon. Microsoft stopped talking about Xbox VR support altogether, also because the complaints on the Windows Mixed Reality platform where the tracking wasn't really good enough and the software is still not ready, but at the same time they were investing on the purchasing market, opening a VR store on the Microsoft Store and starting to support Steam as well. When asked, Phil Spencer, the CEO of Xbox, said that the reason why we don't have any VR on the Xbox is because people don't want to play VR in a living room. Nobody wants cable laying around there. Funny considering that PlayStation VR sold over 4.2 million units, by the way. 2018 was the year, E3 was approaching and everyone was expecting VR to be announced this time. Also because some people already spent those money on the promise that to have VR, like me. Also, Vive was working on the Vive wireless adapter for the HTC Vive, and it seems like we will be able to get finally a VR headset without cables to connect to our Xbox. Perfect for the Phil Spencer idea. But guess what? E3 didn't even mention VR and instead started to tease games for the next generation like Halo Infinite. Not that I'm not interested about it, and you all know that, but you know. But at this point it was clear that VR wasn't arriving at all to the Xbox One X, even if the competition was going strong with the PlayStation VR supported on both consoles. And because of that, it was becoming clear that VR wasn't a priority at all, focusing on game studios instead. When 2019 arrived and Oculus was teasing the Rift S and the Oculus Quest, people were connecting again VR to the big miss, Microsoft and Xbox, but of course we knew that it wasn't the case. Windows Mixed Reality received more updates for PC than before, even at a lower cost. But the interest for the Xbox team just wasn't there. At E3, Microsoft announced that they were working on the next generation console, and again, no talk about VR, even for the future. It became clear again that they weren't be able to launch the new console with a VR headset. Even PlayStation said that the PS5 will launch without VR, with the support, of course, for the old headset, but not with the new virtual reality headset, keeping again Microsoft completely out of the game. And it is also 2018, the big year for VR, when the Quest finally took traction, going sold out everywhere for the ease to use and the effortless setup. PSVR kept bringing out great games and expected games like No Man's Sky VR, and Microsoft didn't announce any hardware updates for the Windows Mixed Reality platform to improve the tracking as the competitors. Leaving us to today, after the best month for VR in history, with Valve investing big with their premium virtual reality headsets, the Valve Index, and with games like Half-Life Alyx, exclusive to VR, creating a big traction for our favorite platforms, with Quest, Rift S, and the Index always sold out and impossible to find. It's so clear that Xbox missed the train once again, because they are not gonna be able to release any headset in 2020, and probably will have to wait till holiday 2021 if we have no hints that something will even happen. I personally invested a lot in the One X, particularly for VR back in the days, and I found myself in late 2019 ordering PS4 Pro and PSVR, but that's the topic of another video that we're gonna discover, so be sure to subscribe. For now, I'm not putting my hopes again though in the Xbox Series X, where the focus is so shifted away from my favorite platform, VR. Phil Spencer said, "I hope it's something that's so important that it will be a no-brainer for us to go and support it." But what do you think about it? I personally think that if they don't change strategy, it would happen the same thing that happened with Windows Phone back in the day, in the market too late to be even meaningful. Do you think that 2021 will be too late to get to VR, considering how the VR world is evolving right now? 5G, eye tracking, big resolution, VR is ready. We just have to wait to see what PlayStation will bring us with PSVR 2 and this console war number 2. So this situation is actually changing how me and you, VR people, are actually looking at the console world right now. Because on the side, we are gonna have an Xbox Series X, very, very powerful. But on the other side, we still have no idea if VR is gonna arrive, and it's gonna have enough power for sure, but then the hardware is gonna be good enough. Do we gonna have enough ports to support VR, or we're gonna have to buy another console? Well, on the Xbox side, they're not really making it easy to take a decision if you're interested in VR, when instead on the PlayStation side, they're saying, hey, the new PlayStation is also gonna support the old PlayStation VR, so don't worry about it and go for it. But that's really the topic for the next video. For now, I really wanted to touch this topic because I always had an Xbox, and I kind of felt a little weird the fact that we had Windows Mixed Reality on the side, but we never had the support for VR on the Xbox. So yeah, did you have the same feeling? Do you have an Xbox? Let me know in the comment below. But yeah, this was a kind of different video from usual, so some feedback would be super appreciated for sure. I'm gonna see you guys very, very soon with the next video. And really, if you liked the video, like and share it, because that will help a lot. If you didn't like the video, dislike, it's fine too, just let me know why. And subscribe to the channel for more about VR tech, because here we are the VR tech channel. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I see you guys in the next video. Ciao.